Picture this, it's the mid-1960s, and you're huddled around the glowing black and white television set in your cozy living room. The room is filled with the comforting aroma of your favorite homemade dinner, and as you take that first bite, the screen lights up with a peculiar sight. There, on the screen, is a family like no other, the Munsters. The Munsters, a quirky TV series that debuted in 1964, had an uncanny ability to make you laugh while raising your eyebrows in delightful confusion. It was a show that introduced you to the Munster family, a bunch of lovable monsters living in a spooky mansion at 1313 Mockingbird Lane. Herman, the Frankenstein-like patriarch, Lily, the vampire matriarch, Grandpa, the vampire count, Eddie, their werewolf son, and of course, the strangely adorable Marilyn, who was as normal as a family member could be. In that very moment when you first encountered the Munsters, you couldn't help but be entranced by their bizarre yet endearing charm. Perhaps it was Herman's clumsy antics, Lily's impeccable poise, or Grandpa's insatiable thirst for adventure that left an indelible mark on your memory. And who could forget the unforgettable drag race episode, where the Munster coach roared to life, leaving a trail of laughter and gasps in its wake. Now, as we journey back to the heart of 1313 Mockingbird Lane, let's uncover some fascinating and obscure facts about the show that may just surprise you. It's time to dust off those cobwebs of nostalgia and embark on a delightful trip down memory lane with the Munsters. So, grab your favorite spot on the couch, because it's time to unravel the mysteries and charm of this timeless classic. The Munsters, a classic 1964 TV series, emerged as a delightful blend of horror and comedy, carving its own niche in American pop culture. Created by Alan Burns and Chris Hayward, the show was a playful twist on the typical suburban family sitcom, but with a monstrous twist. Set in the eerie Munster mansion, the series introduced us to the lovable yet unconventional Munster family, including Herman, Lily, Grandpa, Marilyn, and Eddie. Their humorous misadventures in trying to fit into an ordinary world, unaware of their own peculiarities, became the crux of the show. What set the Munsters apart was its unique visual style, featuring elaborate, gothic sets and iconic character designs that gave the show a distinctive and unforgettable look. Despite its brief two-season run, the Munsters had a lasting impact on popular culture, influencing subsequent TV series and films that combined horror elements with humor. The characters, particularly Herman and Lily, became iconic figures, and the show's legacy continues to thrive through reruns and reboots. The Munsters remains a timeless classic, a testament to the enduring appeal of quirky family dynamics, wrapped in a spooky, comedic package, and its legacy continues to haunt the hearts of fans to this day. In 1964, the Munsters hit the TV screens, becoming an iconic series in American television history. While there isn't substantial information to confirm the claim that Grandpa Munster always stated he was born in the Holy Roman Empire, it's interesting to note that Bram Stoker's Dracula, another famous character, was indeed portrayed as hailing from the Holy Roman Empire, which is now part of modern-day Romania. Yvonne Carlo, who played Lily Munster, initially had reservations about taking on the role. However, financial necessity ultimately led her to accept the part. When asked why she chose to work in television, she candidly admitted that she needed the money. As for the show's title, The Munsters is said to have been derived from the combination of the words fun and monsters, reflecting the humorous and lighthearted approach the series took in portraying a family of classic monsters living in suburbia. While these details shed light on the background of the Munsters, it's worth remembering that this classic TV series brought a unique blend of horror and comedy to audiences, leaving a lasting legacy in the world of entertainment. Bill Mummy's missed opportunity on the Munsters in 1964, when the TV series The Munsters was in the early stages of casting. Bill Mummy was initially considered for the role of Eddie Munster. However, his parents had reservations about the extensive makeup that would be required for his character. As a result, Bill Mummy did not take on the role. Interestingly, despite missing out on the opportunity to be Eddie Munster, Bill Mummy did make a guest appearance on the show during its first season. He played the character of an incorrigible brat in an episode titled The Munsters, Come Back, Little Goody. This decision to not take on the role of Eddie Munster due to makeup concerns may have been a missed opportunity for Bill Mummy. Nevertheless, his brief appearance on the show remains a notable piece of Munsters trivia. Though Mummies Almost Roll on the Munsters sheds light on the interesting behind-the-scenes decisions that can shape a television series. Despite missing out on the iconic role of Eddie Munster, Mummy's guest appearance in the show's early days remains a memorable part of the show's history. Contrary to popular belief, the Munsters were not the first couple on TV to share a bed. It was real-life couple Mary Kay Stearns and John Stearns on their show Mary Kay and Johnny in the late 1940s. In 1964, the Munsters graced the television screens with their quirky and lovable family of monsters. However, the show's unique premise wasn't the first time a couple had shared a bed on TV. Nearly 2 decades earlier, in the late 1940s, Mary Kay Stearns and John Stearns broke that ground on their show Mary Kay and Johnny. While the Munsters became famous for their monstrous household, Mary Kay and Johnny were pioneers in their own right. Their on-screen marriage was a significant departure from the norms of that era, where television couples were often depicted sleeping in separate beds to maintain a certain level of decorum. Fast forward to 1964, and the Munsters had their own memorable run. But it's important to recognize that the groundbreaking step of a married couple sharing a bed on TV had already been taken by Mary Kay Stearns and John Stearns nearly 2 decades earlier. So, while the Munsters brought their own brand of humor and charm to television, they weren't the first to share a bed on the small screen, thanks to the trailblazing work of Mary Kay and Johnny. This historical tidbit sheds light on the evolution of television norms and how the Munsters fit into that broader picture. And that's the story of how the Munsters were not the first TV couple to share a bed. The Munsters, the popular 1964 TV series, had its share of interesting facts. One of them is that the Munsters' iconic house made a cameo appearance on the set of Desperate Housewives. This eerie and memorable house found a new home in another television show, adding a touch of the macabre to Wisteria Lane. Additionally, when it comes to the character Marilyn Munster, there's a hair-raising twist. Beverley Owen, who played Marilyn in the first 13 episodes, was a natural brunette. She wore a wig during her time on the show, often concealing her hairline with a headband. Pat Priest, who took over the role for the rest of the series, is a natural blonde, so that was her real hair. The Munsters family had some hair-related secrets. Fred Gwynne, the actor who portrayed Herman Munster, showed his versatility by playing dual roles in 2 episodes. In The Munsters, Knock Wood, Here Comes Charlie, he played Herman's twin brother Charlie. In another episode titled The Munsters, A Visit from Johann, Gwynne portrayed a reject creation of Dr. Frankenstein's named Johann. These intriguing details add depth to the legacy of The Munsters, a show that continues to capture the imaginations of viewers even today. It's fascinating how the Munsters' house found a new haunt on Desperate Housewives. The hair color switch for Marilyn and Fred Gwynne's dual performances added unique layers to the series. So, whether you're a fan of classic TV or just curious about the quirks behind the scenes of the Munsters, these tidbits shed some light on the show's enduring charm. As we wrap up this journey through the eerie and endearing world of the Munsters, I invite you to take a moment to reflect on your personal connection with this iconic 1964 TV series. Whether you're a longtime fan or a recent discoverer of the Munster family, there's something enchanting about the way they blended the macabre with the mundane. Perhaps you remember the quirky charm of Herman Munster, a lovable Frankenstein's monster with a heart of gold, or the ever-graceful vampire Lily Munster. Grandpa's bizarre experiments and Eddie's boyish enthusiasm added layers of humor to the show, while the stunningly spooky decor of their mansion was a character in itself. The Munsters has always been more than just a TV series. It's a timeless reminder that being different is something to be celebrated. It's an invitation to embrace your quirks and unique qualities, just as the Munster family did. Now, it's your turn. Share your favorite memories, thoughts, or even your own quirky connections to the Munsters. Did you binge watch the series late at night? Did you try to recreate Grandpa's peculiar potions in your childhood experiments? We'd love to hear your stories. Thank you for joining us on this nostalgic journey through 1313 Mockingbird Lane and beyond. Your time and interest are greatly appreciated. Keep the Munster spirit alive, and remember that embracing the unusual is what makes life truly enchanting. Until next time, this outro was